Hi friends, welcome back to Parnika tutorials. In this video, I want to discuss about object in JavaScript. So I sincerely request everyone to watch the complete video for better understanding. An object is a non-primitive data types. In JavaScript, we have the primitive data types and non-primitive data types. When it comes to the primitive data types, we have the number, string, big int, like that. We already discussed about the primitive data types in JavaScript. If you did not watch that video, I request you to go back and watch that video and come back to this video. In this video, we will talk about the object. So an object in JavaScript is a non-primitive data type that allows you to store multiple collection of data. So I can say that an object is a non-primitive data type. It is useful to store the collection of key value pairs. In Python, Java, C++, if you want to create an object, first you need to define a class. What is a class? Class is a structure of an object, or I can say class is a blueprint for an object. So class will provide the blueprint, whereas an object is an instance for a class. So in Python, Java, C++, if you want to create an object, first you need to define the class. Once you define the class, for that class you can define an object. When it comes to the JavaScript, it is little bit different. You don't need to define any class to create an object in the JavaScript. Then you can ask me, sir, how can you declare an object in JavaScript? The syntax for declaring the object in a JavaScript is you need to write the var keyword or let keyword. Then you need to provide the object name equal to, open the braces, and then you need to provide the key value pairs separated with a comma. Then I can provide the key 2 value 2 comma key 3 value 3, and then you can provide the curly braces end with a semicolon. So you have created an object called object name, which consists of key 1, key 2, key 3, and each key has a corresponding value. Let me discuss with an example. Let me create an object called student. So I will write where the object name is student equal, and then open the curly braces, and I will provide the key as roll number, and the value I will provide it as 1. Let me provide the R in lowercase, and then I will keep a comma, and then another key I will provide it as name, and the value I will provide it as Parnika, and another key I will provide it as is, value I will provide it as 5, and then close the curly braces, end with a semicolon. So here I have created an object called student having the three keys. One is the roll number, name, and age. Here I can consider the roll number, name, age as the keys, or even I can say them they are the properties. Okay, and you have the values 1, Parnika, 5. An object is a collection of key value pairs or property value pairs also I can consider. Let me discuss with a simple example. Let me open the Notepad++. So I have written one HTML program consists of head tag and the body tag. If you want to write any JavaScript code either in the head tag or in the body tag, you need to provide the script tag. Inside the script tag only you can write the JavaScript code. Let me create an object called student having the key value pairs. Let me consider the roll number, and the value is 1. Then name I will consider as Parnika. Then age I will consider as 5. Then I will end with curly braces, end with a semicolon. So we have declared an object called student. Now if you want to access the properties of an object, we can do in two ways, using the dot operator and using the braces also. First let me discuss how can you access the property of an object using the dot operator. To do that one, I will write document.write. The document.write is useful for you to display some content, and then I will provide the object name as student, and then I will use the dot operator and the property name I want to write here. So here the property name is roll number. Let me save this program. go to the JavaScript folder, conditional statements.html, open with Google Chrome. Now you can see we got the output as 1. Similarly, if I want to access other properties like name, age also, I can do. Let me write document.write, and I will use the break tag because I want to display the next content in the next line. Then I will write document.write, student is the object name and the property name is name. Okay, and let me copy this one and paste it. In place of name, here I will provide the age. Now if I save this program and go to the browser, and if I refresh it, I will get the output as 1 Parnika 5. So using the dot operator, you can access the properties of an object. Now if I want to access using the braces also, I can do. Instead of writing the dot operator, I will write the braces, and then you need to provide the property name using the single quotes. Then you need to end the braces. Now let me save this one, go to the browser and let me refresh it. We got the output as 1. So when you are accessing the property of an object called student, you can do with the help of the dot operator. So if you are using the dot operator, you can simply write object name dot operator, and then you can provide the property. If you are using the braces, then you need to write the object name braces, open the single quotes, within the single quotes you need to provide the property. So you can use the dot operator, or using the braces we can access the object properties. Now you can ask me one doubt, sir, when can I use the dot operator? In which scenario I cannot use the dot operator? In which scenario I need to use the braces? Let me discuss this one with an example. Let me have one more property called channel name. The channel name I will consider as a string. So if I write channel space name, and if I provide the channel name as Parnika tutorials. So now I think you can understand that a key can be a string also. As I am providing the key in the single quotes, now I am considering this as a string. Now if I want to access this channel name using the dot operator, you cannot do it. If you want to verify, let me provide channel space name. Then if you observe it, we will not get the output. See, we did not get the output. Whereas if you use the braces, let me provide the braces, then channel name I'm providing in the single quotes, and then braces. Let me save this one and then refresh it. We got the output as Parnika tutorial. So if you have a key having the multiple words, that multiple words you cannot access using the dot operator. You can access that property using the braces. Now you may have one more doubt, sir, you are keep on saying that student is an object. How can you know is it really an object or not? To do that one, I can use the type of operator. Then I can write document.write type of, then you can provide the student. Now let me save this one, go to the browser and let me refresh it. We got the output as object. So I can say that student is an object. Now let me discuss about the nested objects. Meaning is that inside an object you want to have another object. An object can also contain another object. In that scenario we can say it as a nested object. So nested object means an object, inside that you have another object. Like you have the nested if, right? Inside an if you have another if. Similarly you have nested loop. Once a loop you have declared, inside that you can have another loop. So in that scenario I can say it as a nested loop. Similarly we have nested object. Nested object means an object contains another object. Let me declare this nested object with an example. I will write where student is the object name, then I will provide the name is one key and having the name as Jagadeesh. and then let me keep it comma, and then I will provide the age, which is 35, comma, and then I will provide the marks. Inside the marks, I will have the signs having the value 70, comma, max is another key having the value 74, and then close the curly braces and again close the curly braces, end with a semicolon. So you have a student object. Inside the student object you have another marks object. Inside the marks object you have two keys called signs and max. Now let me discuss this concept practically with an example so that it will be clear for you. Let me open the notepad++ and then I will define an object called student. Inside the student you have the name having the value called Jagadeesh, separate with a comma, and then I will have the age is another key having the value 25, and then I will have the marks is another object, and inside that object you have key value pairs, like you have signs is the one key having the value 70, and max is another key, you have the value 90. Let me close the curly braces, let me again close the curly braces, end with a semicolon. Now if I want to access the property called name of the student object, then I can use the dot operator. I can provide the student is an object and the name is property. Now let me save this one, go to the browser and let me refresh it. We got the output as Jagadeesh. Similarly, if I provide the property as marks, then look at here what will happen. Let me save this one and let me refresh it. We got the object. If I want to access the property signs inside the object called max, then if I save this one, go to the browser and refresh it, we got the output as 70. So if you want to access the signs property which is there in the max property in an object called student, that you can do. So you have provided the object name and then you have provided the property name as marks and then you have provided the property as signs. Similarly, if you want to access the property called max which is there in the marks in the student object, that also you can do. Let me provide the document.write and then inside the double quotes I will provide the break tag because I want to go to the next line, and then I will copy this one and then paste it here. In place of signs I will provide the max. Now let me save this one, go to the browser and let me refresh it. We got the output as 70 and 90. So like this we can use the nested object, which is an object inside the another object. Now let me discuss how can you define a function as a value inside an object. That you can do with a simple example. Let me define a object called person having the key as name and the value as Jagadeesh, and then I will have the name, okay, having the value 35, and then I will write get my details is another key, and now I will say that this is a function, okay, and now I need to define the statements which are there in the function. So I will write simply document dot write, and then I will simply write I want to display the hi statement. Now let me close this one. Now if I want to access the get my details, then I can simply write document.write, and then I can simply write what is the object name person, and then you can provide the get my details which is a function, so you need to provide the parenthesis. Then this get my details function will be executed, so you'll get the output as hi. If you want to verify this one, let me discuss with an example. Let me define a object called person, and in this person I will have name is one key having the value Jagadeesh, and then I will keep a comma and then I will write get my details which is a function. So I will write function and then open the curly braces, then I will write document.write hi friends how are you. Now close this one, close the curly braces, and then close the curly braces of the person object, and then I can simply call the function called get my details. So what I will do, I will simply write object name, which is person dot operator, then I can write get my details. Now once you call this get my details, the statements which are there in the get my details function will be executed, so you'll get the output as hi friends, how are you. Let me save this one, go to the browser and let me refresh it. We will verify we are not getting the output. What is the issue? Why we are not getting the output? Here we did a mistake. We have to write the document spelling properly. Let me save this one, go to the browser and let me refresh it. We got the output as hi friends, how are you. Now let me make it little bit complex. So I will have age also. Age is having the value 35. Then I want to display this thing. So what I will do here is that I will simply return, because a function can return also. I will return as name is, okay, then I will use the concatenation. I will write this dot name, then again I will use the concatenation, and then I will write is, here I will keep a comma, okay, is, and then I will use the concatenation, and then I will write this dot is. I will simply write document dot write, and then I will write person dot get my details. Now let me save this one, go to the browser and let me refresh it. We got the output as name is Jagadeesh, age is 35. Now you can observe one thing. Sir, what this keyword? This keyword refers to the current object. So you are there in the person object. Inside that one you are trying to access the property called age. So here this keyword refers to the current object. Here the current object is person. So in the person object you are trying to access the property called name. Similarly, in the person object you are trying to access the property called age. So that content will be returned and then the statement will be executed. I hope you have understood about the object in JavaScript. If you still have any doubts related to this concept, feel free to ask me in the comment section. I will try to clear your doubts as early as possible. Thank you for watching the complete video. Have a nice day.